Let me check if my microphone is working. Yes, it is working. Hello, everybody. Hello. Wait. How do I say? How do I? Okay. Hello, S and hello, Korigakage. Welcome. Hope your guys are doing good today. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Hell yeah. Wait, here we go. So it's working, so I don't have to worry about anything else. Then let me put up the background music. There we go. Oh wait, I should probably check how low. Yeah, I'm gonna check the my voice volume as well as the background music. I don't want one to overpower the other. Da, 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 do. I can't tell.
Hikari and VOT on the same screen. Heck yes.
I can't tell. Oh no. Oh well, whatever. Please let me know if my audio, if you can hear my voice, with the background music running right now. I don't want the music to overpower my voice. I'm kind of like a really bad reader. There we go. Okay, so minimize this.
I hear you just fine.
All right.
3.
All right, let's go. Hello, Adon, Hikari. Wait, where's Adon? I don't see Adon. I do see Hikari, but where's Adon? I don't see Adon. And it's not on the book cover.
You have created your own Turok Cortana, haha.
Hell yeah, it is. She is. Oh wait, you know what? Oh no, I don't think I'll be able to change the I wanted to switch to a different PNG for
Points
her.
on Hikari's outfit, Aiden laughing face.
Oh hell yeah. Wait. Can I change the no, I don't think I'll be able to change it. This is a group. Bit of studio bug. Filters, properties. No, I can't switch. Ah no, I can't change. Or maybe I can. Maybe I can, but I don't want to bother with it. It's gonna take me a while. Hell yeah. Hello. Yeah, I did create my Turok Cortana. She's literally Cortana. I mean, Adon is literally Cortana. She is the prototype Cortana, to an extent. Except that Cortana doesn't actually fall in love with Master Chief. No, Halo 4 doesn't exist. Halo 5 doesn't exist. Halo Infinite doesn't exist. They don't exist. They're anti-fiction. They're the opposite of fan fiction, because at least fan fiction kind of respects the lore that came before it. 343 games are essentially Turok 2008 but for Halo. They're nothing. They're the opposite. They yes, that. maybe I should get somebody who is also like a Halo fan, and then we just rant about the 343 era of games. You can never have too many people ranting about the Turok. I mean the Halo 343 games and the 343 lore as well. Alright, here we go. Do I have to keep this open? No, I don't think I'll keep it open just in case. Alright, here we go. It says, Prologue. The story so far. Our previous tale of Turok opened with Carl Fireseed, locked in a life or death struggle against vicious creatures known as the Fireborns. The Fireborns were just one type of mutant dinosaur that had inhabited the lost land of Galliana. So that's the, oh by the way, that's the full name of the lost land. It's not just called the lost land, it's the lost land of Galliana. And for a while I remember somebody...
Well, as Aiden predates Cortana, Aiden is the superior lady. Change mu mind, rack attack.
I cannot change your mind for something that was said before something else. I want to do the matrix or holographic effects a little, work them a little bit better, but I don't know how besides just turning her into like a blue clone or something, or use like a red filter over her. But it's gonna look ugly. The one thing that I wanted to do with the shorts was create a hologram, like a holographic effect, where for half a second you don't see anything, and then she suddenly appears like with a little holographic thing. But I couldn't figure out how to do that on DaVinci, so I kind of like gave up on it, and instead I just added the that little weird, this little weird matrix-like effect. You know what? Let me see if let me make her bigger. Bit of Studio Pub. There we go. And I'm pretty sure I don't have to worry about anything here. So I'm gonna like crop it out. So that way, right there. There we go. Just a tiny bit bigger. She's a little bit tiny bit bigger. There we go. Okay, like all Turoks before and after him, Carl carried a fringe leather satchel known as the Light Burden. This seemingly empty bag is filled with the energy source that opens the portals between Earth and Galliana. It also gives Turok warriors access to an almost infinite arsenal of weapons, magical objects, and powers. Carl Fireseed wore the Heart of Fire talisman, which helped protect him from the firebomb's lava-hot, boiling blood. A normal man would have been burned to death in an instant, but Carl fought bravely despite his injuries. Only when the battle was over and the last Fireborn had been killed did Carl realize his injuries were fatal. Using the Folding Eye device from the Light Burden, a device that enables Turoks to see various portals throughout the universe, Carl returned to Earth, his final mission being to pass the mantle of to the next line, his nephew, Joshua Fireseed. Joshua, a 17-year-old high school senior, was a handsome, popular, and talented athlete. The last thing Josh wanted or expected was for the burden of Turok to fall on his shoulders. But when his uncle Carl returned to Earth on the brink of death, young Joshua had no choice but to inherit the Light Burden and the mantle of Turok. The power of the Light Burden was able to transport Josh, along with his wisecracking, brainy best buddy, 17-year-old Barry Hakowitz, and his 15-year-old tragically hip sister Allison, to the savage Lost Land. There, Josh was forced to learn the ways of a Turok and discover the weapons in the Light Burden. After doing battle with such deadly creatures as T-Rex dinosaurs, huge flying pteranodons, and giant cave spiders, Josh met Adon, the speaker of Forever Light. Adon, a holographic image, serves as a spokesperson for the Council of Voices, the ruling body of the Safe Lands. Through Adon and the dying words of his uncle Carl, Josh learned that the greatest danger ever to arise in the Lost Land now threatens Earth. Pramagen, a being from another universe, whose interdimensional time travel accidentally created Galliana, as bits and pieces of other universes attached themselves to the huge energy source he carried. Pramagen's only desire is to return home. Unfortunately, leaving Galliana would tear apart the very core of the Lost Land, Earth, and all existing universes. The only thing preventing Pramagen from powering up his lightship are 12 energy totems, created centuries ago by the Council of Voices. These totems provide energy for cities and villages in the Lost Land, while at the same time preventing Pramagen from channeling the energy to his ship. It is now up to Adon to lead Josh, Barry, and Allison on a quest. They must journey through Galliana, to seize and safeguard the energy totems before Primogen's hordes possess them. Book 2 opens as we find Josh ready to enter battle with one of the dregs of Lost Land Society, known as the Campaigner. Although not a minion of Primogen, the Campaigner is a rabid survivalist. He often stages battles in his arena, forcing the more feeble creatures of the Lost Land into combat. Josh decides to strike a bargain with the Campaigner. If the young Turok agrees to defeat our 4 foes, which would be handpicked by the Campaigner, then he will be allowed to take the totems. However, when Barry and Allison sneak into the arena to watch Josh fight, they are captured by the Campaigner's guards. Now Josh must fight the powerful Campaigner himself. The lives of his sister and best friend, and the existence of all known worlds are hanging in the balance. Chapter 1. Joshua Fiercey tucked his body into a tight ball and rolled out of the way as the Campaigner's massive frame sailed through the air towards him. Josh knew that if the Campaigner's immense bulk were to land on him with full force, he would be joining his ancestors sooner than he planned. Luckily, the Campaigner's huge body crashed onto the ground just inches from Josh's head. Josh watched as the Campaigner slowly struggled to get up. If he had been a human, if he had ever been a human, it was difficult to see those traces now. His flesh was swollen and rotting, and most of his limbs and organs seemed to have been crafted from the bodies of fallen dinosaurs. He stood at least 7 feet tall. His feet were 3-toothed talons, and his skin was rancid, pus-soaked, and green from head to toe. The crowd in the Campaigner's arena was a combination of the Lost Land's aristocracy, who watched from elevated boxes above the arena, and the hapless prisoners known as fodder, who were brought up from holding seats beneath the arena. Josh understood how cruel was that the fodder were made to watch a sport in which they would soon be participants. Both groups, however, chanted for Turok's defeat. It didn't make matters any easier for the young warrior to know that his sister, Allison, and his best friend, Barry, were now hanging upside down above the center of the arena. If Josh lost this fight, or if he refused to play by the rules and disabled the Campaigner rather than killing him, then Barry, Allison, and Josh would all be put to death. If Josh were victorious, he would leave the arena, not only with his sister and friend, but also with the energy totem he had come for in the first place. While the Campaigner struggled to raise his massive bulk off the floor, Josh took a quick second to look around the arena. He hadn't seen so many skulls with their flesh ripped off since his last trip to a novelty shop. The difference this time, of course, was that the skulls were real, and if he weren't careful, his skull would be the very newest addition to the Campaigner's collection. Shaking off the horror of his surroundings, Josh stuck his hand into the light burden. The fringed satchel that mystically connected Turok with an almost infinite arsenal of weapons. Oh, hello, Mantis Drone. Welcome. Hope you're having a wonderful day today. Oh wait, you know what?
What is this?
You know what? Maybe I should probably shut off the TTS. It's gonna distract me a lot. This is the Turok novel, Turok: Seeds of Evil by what's the guy's name? Michael something. Hello, Alexander. Welcome. How are you having a wonderful day today? Oh well. I'll just deal with the TTS. I'll try to not get distracted by the TTS. Where did I left off? Shaking off the horrors of his surroundings, Josh stuck his hand into the light burden, the fringe satchel that mystically connected Turok with an almost infinite arsenal of weapons. He searched for a weapon that might
Were
help
you
him
able to
create a
troubleshoot
distraction,
the
but at the
PC
moment,
issues, mate?
thunderous applause filled the
Dino
air as the
dance,
campaigner
Dino dance, Dino
finally
dance,
rose to
Dino
his feet.
dance, Dino 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 dance, Dino
Wait,
dance,
yeah, I'm
Dino
definitely gonna
dance,
have to
Dino
shit.
dance,
Wait,
Dino
wait, wait,
dance,
wait,
Dino
wait,
dance,
wait,
Dino
wait.
dance, Dino dance, Dino dance, Dino dance, Dino dance, Dino dance, Dino dance,
Where is it?
Dino dance, Dino dance, Dino dance, Dino dance, Dino dance, Dino
Okay,
dance.
there we go.
Nice,
There we go.
gimme that sweet Turok lore. Laughing.
There we go. It's like a glitch. It is a glitch. Hang on. I'm gonna have to do like go back where I was.
I am Turok!
There we go. Okay, so where am I? Where am I? Where the hell did I left off? Shaking off the horrors of his surroundings, Josh stuck his hand into the light burden, the fringe satchel that mystically connected Turok with an almost infinite arsenal of weapons. He searched for a weapon that might help him create a distraction, but at that moment, thunderous applause filled the air as the campaigner finally rose to his feet. You are unlike the Turoks who have been here before. You are a coward, snarled the campaigner. Not only do you run away, but you are afraid to kill or be killed. I told you before, campaigner, I won't kill for your entertainment, Josh declared, trying to sound as brave and defiant as possible. That, however, is the problem with all of you Turoks. You have a misplaced respect for life, even the lives of the weak. Well, your moral stance doesn't apply here. By not killing your first 3 opponents, you have dishonored them. To win against me, you have to play by the rules of the arena. Live to fight, fight to live. Josh looked up at the glowing, pulsating energy totem. Then he glanced over at Barry and Allison, and realizing exactly what was at stake, he took a deep breath and replied, I understand. The campaigner eyed Josh warily. Only one participant walks away from any battle in my Only one participant walks away from any battle in my arena, he stated, just in case you are the less bit unclear about what is required of you. The campaigner gestured to one of his henchmen. Josh watched a trapdoor open in the floor of the arena and a platform rise into the air. Standing on the platform were the 3 opponents Josh had previously faced and defeated in his first 3 arena battles: the flesh-eating sentinel called Ripscar, the purling mutant known as Goliath, and the yellow-skinned gladiator with the snake head. Believing that a Turok does not kill without cause, Josh had refused to take the lives of his defeated adversaries. What are they doing here, campaigner? Josh said, nodding the look of fear in their eyes. I've already beaten them. I won't fight them again. Josh's voice trailed off as the campaigner signaled to his squadron of elite guards, who stood among the body parts of that hung from the arena's wall. There will be no need for that, the campaigner answered flatly. Each elite guard notched an arrow in his bow, pulled back on the bowstring, and let the arrow fly. They sliced through the air, landing deep in the chest of the 3 defeated creatures. Their bodies shattered, then crumpled to the ground, their blood seeping onto the platform. To the dead, Turok, the campaigner said as he signaled the archers to train their bows on Barry and Allison. Anything less, and you and your friends will share the same fate. Josh looked at all the fleshless heads ringing the wall. He was in no burning hurry to join the fallen gladiators on permanent display. Let the next battlefield be prepared, the campaigner ordered. Suddenly, stone scraped against stone, and flinty sparks clacked in the air. The floating platforms were 5 feet across and 2 feet thick, hovering hundreds of feet in the air. Resting on each platform was a different weapon of battle, the campaigner's way of evening the odds against the inexhaustible weaponry that was contained within Turok's light burden satchel. Despite his bulk, the campaigner leaped across several platforms, causing each one to bob slightly, and landed close to Josh, who was crouched on a separate floating platform a few yards away. "The next battlefield is ready, Turok," the campaigner announced. "Are you?" "Ready?" Josh said, while taking deep breaths, trying to drown out the chanting and catcalling of the spectators. The aristocrats of Galliana called out wagers on their loafy seats, betting on how long Josh would last. Sizing up the campaigner, Josh kind of wondered that himself. The campaigner then reached down and grabbed a weapon at his feet. A spray of automatic fire spit through the air before ripping up the ground next to Josh. Backflipping, Turok somersaulted off the platform and landed on another one nearby. Looking back in the direction of the campaigner, Josh saw that the warlord was holding a smoking submachine gun. "Then let's begin," the campaigner said. His laughter filled the arena. Josh reached into the light burden for a weapon. A small charge of static electricity surged up his arm, as he always did when he reached into the bag. He withdrew a tech bow from the pouch, and faster than the eye could follow, he let fly an energy-charged tech arrow. The arrow exploded in a corona of blue fire all around the campaigner. The charge from one arrow could put down a normal man for many hours, or even kill him if it penetrated his body. But as the energy dissipated, Josh saw that the campaigner was not only still standing, he was clutching the shaft of the arrow with his festering hand, something that should have been impossible. "You have to do better than that, Turok," the campaigner barked. "I can see your head on my wall already." Again, the campaigner leaped into the air. This time he landed 5 platforms away from Josh. Oh, thank you for the follow, Little Commando. Welcome, welcome. Hope you're having a wonderful day today. We're currently reading the Turok novel Seeds of Evil. Yeah. I already did a read along of the other previous novel, Way of the Warrior. It's on YouTube. I don't know if you're interested in that, then you'll probably enjoy it. But yes, happy Friday, long days and pleasant nights. So I say. Okay, so where did I leave off? I have no idea where I left off. Can see you here. The force of his landing set the platforms crashing into one another, setting off a domino effect that built in intensity until the platform next to Josh rammed into his, shattering it. As Josh stumbled through the air, he reached into the light burden and withdrew a grappling hook and some rope. Swinging the grapple, he hooked into the base of another platform, then began climbing upwards as he dangled on the rope. The campaigner jumped to the very next platform, picked up several knives, and bellowed, "How about a little target practice, Turok?" The knives whizzed past Josh's head as he twisted and swung back and forth out of the way. The swinging made his climb more difficult. He was about halfway up the rope when one blade made contact. It impacted on his wood and rawhide chest shield, but glanced off. Of all the weapons and talismans he possessed as Turok, his breastplate protected him better than anything else. The ricocheting knife did slice his left arm, though knocking his hand loose on the rope. Racked in pain, Josh's lead hand spasmed and he lost his grip. Floundering, he found himself hanging upside down, the rope twisted around his ankle. He felt the tendons in his legs strain as the full weight of his body pulled his hip muscles to its limit. The crowd went wild, screaming for blood. They tossed stones and strange objects at the dangling Turok. Somehow managing to keep the satchel upright, Josh reached into the light burden again. He withdrew a Roman candle and a lighter. Igniting the fuse, he aimed the firecracker at the campaigner and turned his face away. A blast of orange, red, and green phosphorus leaped from the muzzle of the Roman candle, filling the air with color. "Ugh!" screamed the campaigner, covering his eyes and stumbling back from the edge of the platform. Using his one good hand, Josh righted himself off the rope and shimmied the rest of the way back up to the platform. The campaigner was still trying to recover from the blast when Josh bounded into the air with his left foot extended into flying kick pose. The arc of his kick was carrying him within striking distance of planting a blow to the back of the campaigner's neck. Suddenly, the campaigner wheeled around and grabbed Turok's foot, stopping him dead in the air. "Oh, you're good, boy," said the hideous warrior who looked like a patchwork of brutality and death. Turok felt only disgust as he watched the slime from the campaigner's swords ooze along his throat and over his chest as he spoke. "But you are just that, a boy. Sparkling lights are no substitute for real weapons and skill." Then he slammed Turok down, while he wrenched free a huge razor-sharp knife that was lodged into the platform. "I think I'll wear your ears into my belt," he said as he slowly raised the knife over. "I think I'll wear your ears on my belt," he said as he slowly raised the knife over Turok's head. What is wrong with my voice? I have no idea. I'm drinking water and it's still kind of like there's something stuck on my throat. I hate it. I hate it. Hello, blood. Welcome, welcome. Hope you're having a wonderful day today. Oh wait, you know what? I'm gonna do. What the hell happened to the TTS thing? Oh, hang on. There we go. Okay, how do I reload? Can I like reload the whole thing? No, I can't reload the whole thing. Filters. Oh well. It looks like she's talking, but there's nothing to talk. Oh well. Let's see. How many chapters is this? Chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 6. Holy shit, chapter 12. So 12 chapters more or less. Chapter 2. This doesn't look good, Barry Hakowitz called out to Josh's sister, Allison. He struggled to keep his glasses from falling off his face, which wasn't easy considering both he and Allison were hanging upside down. The blood was starting to rush to his head. He felt as though he was about to black out. "Try to have a little confidence, Barry," Allison said as she also struggled against her ropes, keeping a careful eye on the sentry watching them from a nearby tower. "Confidence?" he cried. "I wouldn't need confidence if you hadn't rushed to the arena even though Adon and Josh asked us to stay put in the hovercraft." "So now you're saying this is all my fault?" replied Allison accusingly. "Now I'm saying it. Newsflash! This has been your fault from moment one, Allison," Barry shot back. "I should start calling you Cleopatra, Queen of the Nile. You know what, we shouldn't have been fooling with Josh's magic bag in the first place. Bottom line, Josh and Adon both told us to stay behind while they got the energy totems from the campaigner." "Whoa," said Allison, swinging her arms to her side, scratching the side of Barry's face with one of her fingers. "Back up, Brainiac boy. Like, I wanted to stay behind and be eaten by some dinosaur thing. No thanks. And besides, who was it who said it was as good a vacation? Who said it was a good as a vacation in Fort Lauderdale? Nothing in Fort Lauderdale ever tried to eat me, said Barry. You just don't hang out in the right places, quipped Allison. I'm so glad you find this all so funny, Barry said, jerking his body away from Allison's. The next time I'm hanging upside down in an alien arena about to become a Hackaway smack nugget from a drooling lizard, remind me not to do it, okay? Any ideas how we're gonna get out of here? Hope Josh wins, she replied meekly. Wonderful! Barry moaned sarcastically as he twisted his body to get a better look at the battle platforms. That makes me feel so much better. Hello, Badger. Welcome, welcome. Hope you're having a wonderful Friday day today. Long days and pleasant nights, so I say. What the hell was that? Oh, just freaking email. There we go. So we're currently reading what I was supposed to do last Saturday, but I couldn't do it because something happened to my head. Let's see where we left off. Meanwhile, Josh was just a little short of confident in himself at the moment. On top of everything, he was disappointed that, in what seemed to be the final moments of his life, nothing flashed in front of his eyes. He was glad the feeling in his left arm was returning. And none too soon, he thought as the campaigner's knife came hurtling down towards his face. Almost instinctively, Turok jerked both his arms together, slapping them on either side of the blade, stopping it less than an inch from his nose. The campaigner grunted as he leaned forward on one foot. He struggled to shove the knife into Josh's throat, but Turok held steadily. Then, with a twist of his shoulders, Josh got a bit of leverage and rolled the behemoth off him and towards the edge of the platform. Losing his balance, the campaigner crashed with a fleshy thud on the platform below. A cheer went up from one section of the arena. The campaigner shot a look in that direction, and without a word, guards posted along the turrets opened fire, killing everyone in that section, whether they were cheering or not. After a moment of silence, the crowd started chanting, "Death to Turok! Death to Turok!" Wonderful way to breed loyalty, Josh said, scrambling to his feet. Whatever works, said the campaigner, lobbing a grenade at his opponents. Josh swiftly pulled a baseball bat from the light burden and hit the grenade, sending it arcing it into the distance. The explosion shocked the arena, causing the campaigner to rock backwards. Reaching into the light burden again, Josh withdrew two items, a bolting pole and the folding eye, an opaque lens about 3 inches across. The folding eye was a mystical Turok talisman that allowed Josh to see the openings known as fall gates. The openings connected to each other and linked Earth to the Lost Land. They never closed up but could only be seen through the folding eye. Strapping it on, Josh could see that there was a fall gate opening hovering above the next platform, and another just behind the campaigner. If he ran towards the first gate, he would be directly in the campaigner's side, which was exactly what Turok was counting on. Hefting the bolting pole right onto his shoulder, Josh ran towards the campaigner, who had already pulled the pin on another grenade. Rather than risk Josh hitting this one out of range before it detonated, he held onto the explosive for an extra moment. Just as Josh planted the pole and launched himself into the air for what looked like a frontal assault, the campaigner lobbed the grenade. The crowd gasped as the base of the pole and platform both shattered from the blast. Out of control, Josh tumbled through the air towards the campaigner, then suddenly vanished. What the crowd did not see was Josh entering the fall gate opening. To them, it seemed as if Josh had simply disappeared into thin air. Almost almost instantaneously, and still moving with all the force of his bolt, Josh reappeared through a fall gate opening directly behind the campaigner. Turok slammed into the brute's back, sending them both tumbling off the platform hundreds of feet below towards certain death. In a small room in a back hallway of the campaigner's arena, Adon sat cross-legged with her eyes closed, meditating. A bioelectric lifeform who was uploaded from a complex computer program, Adon had the awesome responsibility of leading Josh and the others to the dangerous quest of gathering the Council's energy totems. The Council of Voices ruled the Safe Lands, the only protected area in the Savage Lost Land, and had done so for hundreds of years. Though their bodies were stored in stasis tanks, their minds were connected through cables that absorbed and relayed their thoughts and emotions. Adon was their link. She gave voice to their minds. At the moment, Adon's own mind was troubled. The fate of both Earth and Galliana were in the hands of a new Turok, a brash, untrained 17-year-old who was now engaged in a life-or-death struggle with a campaigner on the battlefield just out of Adon's sight. She wondered if the young warrior could rise to the task and save everything she had ever known. Letting her body go limp, her eyes rolled back into her head as she reached out in a... Letting her body go limp, her eyes rolled back in her head as she reached out to form a direct connection with the Council of Voices. Adon became pure energy and light. She seemed almost to disappear, and she melted with the strong energy force within the room. As their speaker, Adon was more than just the eyes and ears of the Council. She also possessed all their knowledge of the past and present, and glimpses of the future to come. "Hear me, Council," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. As she spoke, her physical form slowly flicked in and out. She sensed the Council contacting her. Each made his presence felt in turn. The minds of the four beings, one human, one dinosaur, and two aliens, reached from their stasis tanks across the lost land. The faces of the Council paced before her and hovered just outside her reach, in an area of cascading color and texture. "Why do you call us, Speaker of Forever Light?" "The end of all things threatens this world and all other worlds," Adon said through a combination of words and thought. "This new Turok has yet to stop the darkness from blotting out the light. The darkness advances. The campaigner is a fierce foe. This Turok is young and inexperienced. I fear he will not be able to defeat the campaigner. And unlike some Turoks before him, he is unwilling to kill. I seek your wisdom." Adon intuitive that I can't read that word. Adon intuitively received the collective mind of the Council. The Turoks are the protectors. Faith in the Turok is faith in us. The child of the Forsaken Wall will prevail. With your aid, stand by his side and aid him. But he is rash and too much like his father, John, the Forsaken One. The secondary Turok, Carl, could have stood up against the Primogen, but this young one, all our fates rest with him. He is greater than he knows, perhaps greatest of all time, past and to come. Help him to see this. Adon, or we are all lost. The room and Adon then ebbed back into view. Adon opened her eyes to find herself sitting alone on the floor. She knew that the council was right. Josh was the Turok now. He was not his father, nor his uncle. If Pramagen could be stopped, it would be by his hand. But first, Turok had to beat the campaigner. Standing up and opening the door, Adon went into the arena and took her seat among the wildly cheering spectators. Their bodies were stored and cables absorb their thoughts and emotions. The Matrix. They live in the Matrix. Except they're the only ones that get to enjoy the Matrix. Josh and the campaigner fell together through the air. The campaigner flashed a smile filled with rotten teeth. So we will both die today, Turok, he snarled. I am prepared to die. Are you? To his own amusement, Josh calmly ignored the campaigner. Instead, he flipped down the folding eye piece and searched for a portal. Even though he was falling rapidly towards the ground, Turok spotted an opening about 10 feet ahead. Quickly, he formed a plan that he hoped would save his and the campaigners' lives. Neither of us have to die, Josh stated boldly. Turok twisted his body, then drifted into the fold gate opening, dragging the campaigner after him through the portal. Being on the other side of a fold gate opening is like being in all places at the same time. Josh and the campaigner could see the arena and all of the lost lands, but in an odd funhouse mirror kind of way. All around, other gates open and close like blinking shutters, the reality of solid dimensions just outside the reach. A fold gate could open anywhere, in the bottom of an ocean, or into the heart of a sun. The trick, as Josh was beginning to understand, was a matter of stepping through the right opening at the right time. The sights of all the points of time and space rushing by badly rattled the campaigner. This was just fine with Josh, as it gave him a chance to zero in on an opening that he believed was rapidly approaching, one that would return him to the arena just 2 feet above the ground. If Josh was wrong, however, his reign as Turok would be among the briefest in the Legacy's 2,000-year-old history. Twisting the tremendous form of the campaigner towards the portal, Josh gave him a firm shove. They emerged through the opening and hit the ground from a height of 2 feet. To the audience in the arena, they seemed to have reappeared a mere second after they vanished. Crashing and tumbling, the two spun to a halt. The campaigner shook his head, trying to refocus after such an intense experience. He tried to sit up, but he felt the cold edge of a knife pressed against his throat. In the split second it took the campaigner time to recover, Josh had managed to pull a large curved knife with a jewel-encrusted handle from the light burden. He now had the weapon pressed against the metallic rotting flesh of the campaigner's throat. See, we're not dead. At least you're not yet. You have the upper hand, Turok. Finish the fight. It is the only way to win. It is the rule of the arena. If you don't kill me, I'll kill you. I don't think so, said Josh, reaching up and taking off the folding eye. You're gonna give me the totem and let me and my friends go. And I'll do it with a smile. And if I don't, replied the campaigner defiantly. Then, Josh said, pressing the folding eye to the campaigner's eye and twisting his head to the side, I push you through here. The campaigner, looking through the mystic lens, saw a fold gate not 5 inches from his head, and utter darkness beyond. And you go through the whole thing over and over again. You'll wish you were dead, but you won't know how to die. The grey hulking mass let off a hissy dismay. Very well, the campaigner said. twisting his head to the side he would not have to look through the lens anymore. But you dishonored me with defeat. You dishonored me even more by not killing me. Not my problem, Josh said, standing and placing the folding eye right back on the bandana over his eye. Live with it. As Josh walked towards his friend, the campaigner scrambled to his feet and rushed Turok from behind. Josh, aware that the campaigner would never give up of his own free will, was fully expecting this treachery. He listened for the thundering footfalls behind him. Just as the depraved warlord was about to hit him full force, Josh dropped to the ground, sending the campaigner careening over his back, right into the very fall gate opening Josh had just pointed out. "Hey!" Barry shouted from above the arena as the floating platform descended to the ground. "Where did he go?" Peering through the folding eyes, Josh looked up at his friends. "Believe me, buddy," he said, "you don't wanna know." Oh, holy shit, already chapter 3. That was quick. Hang on. Let me see if I can fix this. Where are you? There you are. Let me see if this is work. What is going on with this thing?
Pog online poggers.
Okay, now it's back. It is back online, but I need to check something. Let me check the settings though. Settings. Open sesame. We'll read. Ignore. I have no idea how to set that up. I need to check it up. 3D. Oh, there's option for 3D. Nice. Enable to read all chats. Okay. Moderation. Ban words. Oh, here we go. Don't read emojis. Normal emojis. Ah, weird. That's weird. Save. Oh, yeah, that's right. I also need to set up the connect YouTube. Okay. There we go. Save and tray. Schrodinger's campaigner. It is a Schrodinger's campaigner. I remember he actually died. This campaigner, I kind of like remember he just died. Or something happened and then he comes back. I don't remember that. I honestly don't remember much of the novels. It's been a while since I read them. There we go. Oh wait, I'm gonna do a stretchy. Real quick. There we go. Little stretchy spaghetti. Eddie spaghetti. You know what this whole thing about the totems and Galliana and all that stuff? Somebody at Iguana was really a big fan, a huge fan. Why do I still have this open? Where are you? Here we go. Somebody at Iguana. They were huge fans of these freaking novels. The Dark Towers. A lot of this literally reads like out of the Dark Tower series. I believe The Wastelands was like the farthest the Stephen King got up until 2000, while Iguana was still around. Actually, let me check. Where's The Wastelands? 3? I think it's the third one. The Wastelands. Okay, so when did that come out? All. Yada 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 yada. When did it come out? 1991. What about the fourth one? I think it's called. What is it called? Wizard and Glass. This one came out in 1997. What about number 5? Wolves of the Kala. Okay, so this one came out into the. Okay, so up until Wizard of Glass, the way the Lothland is described, it's described kind of like the same in this series of novels, especially the whole totems thing. In the novels, there is how many? There's 16. No, is it 12? Wait, how many beams do they the Dark Tower beams. How many are there? Is it 6 or 12? I think it's 12. Yep. The beams are represented by 12 figurative animal guardians. And it's 12. It's such a weird coincidence that there's 12 totems, and then in the Stephen King novels there is 12 beams with guardians. And the totems in the Turok thing, in the Turok novels, they also have that. Although they don't got it like this, like guardian animals. It's just the actual guardians are psychopaths in Turok. And I guess Roland would be the figurative Turok. Let's see. Let me go back to where are you? There you are. Hang on. I should probably clear my freaking glasses. They're dirty for whatever reason. I always clean them, but they always get like dirty with something. It's not even dust. It's something else. I think it's like looks like oil. I have no idea where they get like that dirty with oil. There we go. Oh, there we go. There we go. So chapter 3. Beneath the campaigner's arena lay a huge pit, a holding pen filled with humans, humanoid and dinosaurs. These were the fodder who would soon do battle. The fodder was there for the entertainment of the spectators. They had been torn from their homes and families awaiting their turn to die in the campaigner's arena. They were prisoners who despised their captor with every fiber of their being. Some had been there for years, thinking of nothing but what they could do if they ever got their hands on the despicable despot just for a second. Suddenly, a crackling sound like static electricity filled the air. The prisoners turned and saw what appeared to be a giant blob drop out of the thin air. The campaigner landed with a thud. As the prisoners advanced on him with murder in their eyes, the campaigner searched for a way to escape. He was shocked when the creatures stopped their charge and pointed at his face. Reaching up, the gnarled green claws of the campaigner's hand touched the exposed circuits and wires of his face, and it became clear to him what horrified the creatures. When he landed after falling through the fall gate, the synthetic skin of his face had been torn, exposing his robotic insides. The prisoners were startled, trying to make sense of the fact that their tormentor was a robot. Then, quickly, it ceased to matter. This was the campaigner dumped into their laps, and they would never get a chance like this again. As they ripped his arms and legs and body and began to disembowel him... Oh, can see? Oh shit. Oh fuck, I forgot about that. My bad. Let me backtrack. At least I didn't read much. Oh no, and the DTS is not working, of course. Oh well, whatever. Okay, now I'm back. That was practice read. Beneath the campaigner's arena lay a huge holding pen, filled with humans, humanoids, and dinosaurs. These were the fodder who would soon do battle. The fodder was there for the entertainment of the spectators. They had been torn from their families and from their homes and families, awaiting their turn to die in the campaigner's arena. They were prisoners who despised their captor with every fiber of their beings. Some had been there for years, thinking of nothing but what they would do if they ever got their hands on their despicable despot just for a second. Suddenly, a crackling sound like static electricity filled the air. The prisoners turned and saw what appeared to be a giant blob drop out of thin air. The campaigner landed with a thud. As the prisoners advanced onto him with murder in their eyes, the campaigner searched for a way to escape. He was shocked when the creatures stopped their charge and pointed at his face. Reaching up, the gnarled green claws of the campaigner's hand touched the exposed circuits and wires on his face, and it became clear to him what horrified the creatures. When he landed after landing through the folding gate, the synthetic skin of his face had been torn, exposing his robot insides. The prisoners were startled, trying to make sense of the fact that their tormentor was a robot. Then, quickly, it ceased to matter. This was the campaigner dumped into their lab, and they would never get a chance like this again. As they ripped his arms and legs from his body and began disemboweling his mechanized innards, the pain sensor sent back through the campaigner's artificial nerve endings. The skin may have been fake, but the pain was all too real. As Josh cut Allison and Barry loose from the ropes, a scream like nothing they have ever heard before echoed from the bowels of the arena. Then, suddenly, the screaming stopped. Meanwhile, the two prisoners who had been lowered to the ground by two of the tower's sentries were free, released when the campaigner disappeared. "What was that?" Allison asked, rubbing her wrists. "If we're lucky, justice," said Josh. "Come on, let's go find Adon, get the totem, and get the hell out of here." "Turok!" shouted a man dressed in a Civil War soldier's uniform. "What?" Josh asked, turning to face the soldier. Barry and Allison froze alongside Josh. "My name is Captain James Dunlap, Confederate Army and Captain of the Guard for the campaigner." "You're human," said Josh, sounding very surprised. "From Earth." "Yes," he replied, Dunlap. "I was a soldier in the Civil War, held in a prisoner of war camp. The Turok at that time, Toll said, sent me here to Galliana. I am now next in line to be the campaigner."
I missed a bunch. I lost you at chapter 1.
I missed a bunch. Lost you. Rip. Oh well, there is the bot. There is the bot always. Hello, Zephyr. Welcome. Hope you're having a wonderful day today. Long days and pleasant nights, or so I say. We are currently on chapter 3. Yes, chapter 3. Kind of like started chapter 3 like 5 minutes ago. But yeah, hope you're having a wonderful day today. I am now next in line to be the campaigner. "Wonderful," replied Josh. Just the man I wanted to see. As you can see, I've defeated your commander, and by the terms of our agreement, you have to release me and my friends and surrender the energy totem to me." "I'm afraid I can't do that," replied the campaigner. "Why not?" asked Barry. "Those were the rules." "Because, as the next campaigner in line, I must challenge you, Turok." The captain then withdrew his saber from his scabbard and held it before him. "Give me a break," thought Josh, reaching into the light burden and withdrawing a palm-sized weapon. Pressing a button to the side, two metal prongs connected to thin wires ejected from the front of the device and impaled themselves into the captain's chest. Electricity from the prongs ripped from the air, gripping the captain in a paralyzing spasmodic hold. Shuddering and jerking, he dropped to the ground unconscious. "What kind of super cool Turok weapon was that, oh great protector of everything?" asked Barry, looking over at the device in Josh's hand. "A stun taser from the LA Police Department," said Josh. "Standard issue?" Then, turning to the crowd, Josh yelled, "Anyone else?" There were no takers. Adon joined the trio. You could have dispatched this man and the campaigner much more easily if you had simply killed them, she stated. I won't become a killer, Adon, replied Josh. I told you that before. We should retrieve the energy totem and get to the next location before Primogen's troops catch up with us, Adon said, not wishing to continue her ongoing debate with Turok. A few minutes later, the subsonic roar of air rushing through the hovercraft's jet filled the arena as the energy totem was loaded onto Adon's hovercraft. It's too bad we can't take all these poor prisoners with us, said Josh as the hovercraft flew off, heading towards the forest. You know that Dunlap is just gonna continue his campaigner insanity, and thousands more will die needlessly. It is the way of things in the Lost Land, replied Adon. Your agreement was for the energy totem and nothing more. If those prisoners in the campaigner arena are to be freed, that will have to wait for another day. Besides, our concerns lie elsewhere. If you are unsuccessful in stopping Primogen, we will all be prisoners of death. Ha. Alright, little stretch of spaghetti. Again. Ow. There you go. There we go. Chapter 4. Holy crap. I think this novel is way shorter than the other one. I think the other one took me like 3 streams to finish it. About 2.5 each. Or maybe I'm misremembering things. I'm probably misremembering things. Chapter 4. Hours later, a loud crackling, like thousands of reading stalks being snapped, filled the air as Josh... Wait, what? Hours later, a loud crackling, like thousands of ready stalks being snapped, filled the air as Adon attacked Josh. Welts and bruises covered his face and shoulder. The four-arm-leg staff moved faster than Allison could follow as she watched her brother feint, parry, block, advance, charge, and retreat. He barely held his own against the 500-year-old teenage hologram who had become their guide, protector, and in this fighting season, teacher. Holy shit, she's 500 years old. She's beyond hag. She's beyond hag age. She's ancient. She's what is it called? She's a freaking grandma, except she's a teenager. I thought she was like 2000 years old or something like that. I don't remember where I read that. I think I probably missed that somewhere. Josh had already landed on his butt twice in the hovercraft since Barry started flying the ship, and he was in no hurry to let Adon put him down again. Memories of his first day of high school wrestling practice came rushing back. Adon's punishment reminded him of Coach Grunt Godensi, his 5'6", 250-pound of pure muscle wrestling teacher. Old Grunt put Turok on the mat twice that day as well. This makes no sense, Adon, Josh said, beating her 2 stabs against the side of the hovercraft. With the light burden, I can just pull out a rifle and shoot my enemy. Why do I need to improve my fighting skills? Not all challenges can be fought with a bullet, Turok, she replied softly. And a rifle is no good if your enemy is a foot away in front of you as I am now. I would never let my enemy get this close, he said, pressing forward. Adon released her staffs and flipped into the air, arcing over Josh's head and landing behind him. Before he could respond, her extended left leg swept across the deck, slamming into the back of Josh's knees. Folding over, Josh landed on his back, the staffs flying out of his hands. Before he could sit up, Adon recovered the staffs from the floor of the hovercraft and jammed the twin poles of the deck, crisscrossing them over Josh's throat. And nothing will kill you faster than overconfidence. End of lesson. Woo woo! Yelled Allison. Aaron, you go, girl. Maybe you should be Turok. And maybe you should have stayed in the safe land, said Josh to his sister, sticking out his tongue as they had done each other their whole lives. Allison stuck out her tongue right back at him, although hers contained a small round silver stud pierced through the tip. Adon leaned over and helped Josh to his feet. No, my role is the keeper of the knowledge of the elders, she said. That knowledge doesn't... Turoks? Hello, Pants. Welcome. Hope you're doing good today, little bro. Long days and pleasant nights, so I say. We're currently reading the Turok novel Seeds of Evil. Hell yeah. Turok's cat. The Turok's cat is reading the Turok's novel. Where they left off. Adon leaned over and helped.
Good. Long day finally over Stripe 48.
Hell yeah. Oh wait. Happy Friday. Feliz Viernes, as also I say. I just realized that it's freaking Friday. I can't believe the week is already over. I seriously can't believe the freaking week's already over.
Feliz Viernes.
Feliz Viernes. Hell yeah. Okay.
OG-san.
OG-san? No, don't call me a freaking... Oh wait, I know why you're calling me OG-san. I won't complain about it then. I know why you're calling me OG-san. And I won't elaborate over that. Okay, so... Adon leaned over and helped Josh to his feet. No, my role is the keeper of the knowledge of the elders, she explained. That knowledge does extend to the mastery of every battle technique and martial arts of all the species of the Lost Land, but I am not a fighter. Could have fooled me, said Josh, taking off his bandana and wiping the sweat from the back of his neck. Allison moved forward in the craft to stand next to Barry, who piloted the ship. Does this thing have a CD player? Asked Allison. Sure, replied Barry. I got some 9-Inch Nails, Smashing Pumpkins, and Big Bad Voodoo Daddy set to play on random. Good, replied Allison. Hey, check out this move, guys, shouted Barry as he quickly put his hand over the guidance controls and sent the ship flipping front over back. They all loop-de-loop. I perfected it playing Space Killers on my PC. Will you just fly straight? Will you just fly right, Space Commander? Yelled Josh as he picked himself up from the floor yet again. Josh tied his red bandana around his head. Then he picked up the light burden and stared at the bag that had begun this whole adventure. His expression turned serious. Adon, he began. Since you do possess so much knowledge, I was wondering if you could help me understand a bit more about the light burden. I will try, Adon replied. What is it you wish to know, Turok? Well, how does it work exactly? Josh asked. During the battle, for example, I pulled a Roman candle from the satchel which worked to blind the campaigner, but that wasn't what I was thinking of. Not really. I noticed that the campaigner's eyes seemed overly withdrawn and might be sensitive to light. When I was hanging from the rope, all I wanted to do was somehow blind him, and out came the Roman candle. Allison did an important service during the finding the queue. Hell yeah. You begin to understand the potential of the light burden, Turok. As it begins to understand you, Adon said cryptically. This is a promising step. It begins to understand me? Repeated Josh. What do you mean? It's alive? There are many ways to define life, Adon continued. Your time here in Galliana has sure shown you that, but no, the light burden is not alive as you might imagine. More accurately, the urgent pocket within the bag is connected to you and to all Turoks who have ever been or ever will be. Josh rubbed his head. Now you lost me. Adon stood and picked up her staff, then indicated for Josh to do the same. The two identical battle stances with their weapon and the two took identical battle stances with their weapons and went through a series of thrust and attack postures. Adon was amazed to see how fast Josh had picked up the basic moves of Tibetan stick fighting as he matched her move for move. It is what opens the portal between universes, Adon went on, and in a way, it contains a small part of every universe that has ever been, existing at all times, at all places at once. Josh whirled and snatched the staffs from Adon's hand before she could stop him. See, you understand more than you think, said Adon, smiling. Both you and the Light Burden are more alive for being with the other, less alive apart. It is the more treasured gift of the Turok, to carry with them a piece of forever, and to glimpse through it to the far-reaching expanses of infinity. I envy you. Well, I don't envy me, he said, as he tossed the stabs to the deck. My lack of experience almost got Barry and Allison killed back there, and now the survival of this place, Earth, and whatever else exists through infinity hinges on my getting all the energy totems before Primogen gets them. But your friend and your sister are not dead, Adon pointed out. And you have one more of the Council's energy totem. They have faith in you. I have faith in you. You are the Turok, and all our salvation is in your hands. You will be equal to the task, and if I can help you in any way, I will. Thanks, Adon, said Josh, but I have one more question. Hold on, Adon said, growing visibly tense, stepping over next to Barry. Adon swept a hand across the controls. The hovercraft slowed to a halt, bobbing in midair just above a ridge of trees. We're here. Barry and Allison looked over the sides of the craft at the tops of the branches and leaves. And where is here, exactly? asked Barry. The North Fork of the River of Souls, Adon answered slowly, guiding the craft down through the branches. Once clear of the crown of trees, the threesome could see a massive river stretching out as far as the eye could see, as wide as the one of the Great Lakes, snarkling off the horizon. We have to go back down into that stink pool, moaned Allison, clicking her tongue stud against her teeth. Wasn't it enough we almost died there last time? There's nothing down there but death anyway, right? You might think so, Adon replied, but something miraculous happened here over 100,000 years ago. As the Council of Voices strove to keep Primogen from escaping by erecting the energy totems throughout the Lost Land, they chose to place two here. What better place to hide such an awesome object of power than in a region of Galliana that most creatures avoid? Yes, it is plagued with death and pestilence. We retrieved the first totem from Saku's village. This second marker not only served to keep Primogen locked in his lightship, it is also a shining example of perfection and hope for the few unfortunate who still reside here. The council soon realized that prolonged exposure to this second totem energies had altered the river for the better in this section as well. Plants grew at a remarkable rate, and the waters even helped heal the sick and dying. It wasn't long before another city, smaller but similar to Saku's city, rose around the stream. People came here from afar and wide to partake the healing waters. Let me guess, said Josh. I'm sure the people here also came to regard the totem as some kind of religious sign. You are correct, Turok, said Adon, as she quickly surveyed the lay of the land. The craft penetrated deeper into the trees. Like the big monolith in the movie 2001, said Barry. Dum 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 dum, he sang, mimicking the music from one of his favorite films. The other three just stared at him. Well, it's not Nine Inch Nails smashing pumpkins on Big Bad Voodoo Daddy, said Barry, but it's a good beat. Adon stared at Barry with confusion, then continued with her story. Such a secret could not stay safe forever, and the river's power eventually came to the attention of Primogen. The waters here have recently returned to the poisonous state, though the totem still stands. No one knows why. The council fears that somehow Primogen's efforts are to blame. In this unstable time, they fear he may choose to take an all-out offensive to get the totem. Then we have to stop him, said Barry, causing everyone, including Adon, to turn to look at him. What? He yelped defensively. I know what all this means to Earth and every place else, and I want to help. Private Barry Hackowitz, reporting for duty, sir. I like it when you show some spine, Barry, Allison said, whacking Barry on the back. Maybe I could be like Turok Jr. or something, Barry said, smiling. Don't push it, bud, said Josh, giggling under his breath. Your enthusiasm is appreciated, said Adon. We're all going to have to do our best if we are to stop Primogen. She steered the hovercraft deeper into the jungle, along the snarking bend of the river. He's had millions of years of subconscious plan for this moment. I doubt that anything that has happened so far has been a surprise to him. This is just the beginning of our task. Adon's words hung heavily in the air as the hovercraft eased along, pushing aside the foliage as they went. The jungle around the River of Souls was truly a sight to behold. Flowers and ripe fruit from all varieties abounded, some as large as human heads, but in all vibrant and electric colors. Adon asked Allison as she reached for a beach ball-sized apple. Do you think these are safe to eat? Allison! Adon shouted upon seeing her leaning over the edge of the craft. Get back inside the craft before. Without warning, a rustling sound shot through the branches as if something was running along the tops of the trees. Before anyone could move, three hairy arms grabbed Allison and hauled her over the edge of the hovercraft. In a split second, she was gone. Oh no, they captured her. They captured the little sister, Allison. Sorry about that. What will happen next? Just a little stretch again. Alright. All bones. Ah, crap. This all bones. Whew. Wait a minute, I just noticed it. Why is it called Seeds of Doom? It's called Seeds of Evil. Huh, weird. I guess that was the old name of the novel. Chapter 5. Allison! Josh shouted, looking over the edge of the hovercraft. His tech bow instantly pulled from the light burden and strung with 3 tech arrows. I only had my back for a second. What grabbed her? I didn't get a look at them, said Adon, but the skin and hair seemed to be that of the hunters, the bloodhound caste of the throwbacks. Throwbacks? Asked Barry. Dinosaurs that are purposely bred and trained to be the most merciless, vicious, brutal killers in the dinosaur armies, answered Adon. If your sister was taken by one of them, Turok, I fear that there is nothing there, Josh said, pointing to the right. I can see the branches moving in a path, like something making a beeline along the edge of the river. We need to go to that way. Turok, your sister is... I heard you the first time, Adon, Josh said, taking his side of the woods for the first time his sister was taken. And I say my sister's still alive. If these hunters are following the call of the dinosaur army, then they're in the service of the Primogen, which means our mission should take us this way anyway. So we go this way, understood? Aaron gritted her jaw tight and looked glares with Josh. She could see he was not going to be swayed. Understood, Turok, Aaron. Aaron then turned back to the controls, piloting the craft down the River of Souls. You and Allison shouldn't be here, Barry. You and Allison shouldn't be out here, Barry, Josh mumbled. If anything happens to her... crap, I lost. If anything happens to her... Josh's voice trailed off as he turned back to search the treetops for signs of Allison. Hey, bud, don't even finish that sentence. We'll rescue her, Barry said, clapping a hand on Josh's shoulder. Or my name is not Bruce Willis. Well, of course it is. It is not, but... The twists and turns of the River of Souls straightened out somewhat after a few hundred miles. Barry started to notice makeshift graveyard after graveyard peering the shoreline on either side. So many dead. Looking for fresh water to drink, he said, covering his nose to keep from gagging on the rancid stage of death and stagnant tide water. Boy, a bottled water business in this place would clean it up, so to speak. We should seek out the Signa tribe, said Aaron. They still live along the banks here and might have an idea where the hunters took your sister. Fine, said Josh. Any idea where they may camp? They've been on the move since the river went foul again, explained Aaron. But their last delegation to the council said they were staying around just the next bend. Yee, 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 came a battle cry from the trees. Before Josh could turn and lift his head, 5 human warriors leaped from the leaf cover and unfurled a massive nest. Josh, Aaron, and Barry were wrapped in the net in a matter of seconds and dragged over to the side of the hovercraft, landing roughly on the mossy ground below. The sensors on board the ship picked up the fact that no one was left on board, and the large craft slowed to a stop, hovering above the jungle thicket. On the ground below, Josh pulled a double-headed talon blade from the light burden and sliced through the netting. He was free. A warrior instantly launched at Josh, brandishing a battle staff. Swinging it down hard, he managed to knock the talon blade off Josh's grip. Thrusting and battling, the enemy warrior assaulted Josh much faster than he could compensate. A ramming blow to his midsection doubled him over, and the enemy warrior moved in for the killing blow. Raising the staff over his head, the warrior swung down. Josh slid to the sides, allowing the warrior's overextension and forward motion to carry him past where Josh was kneeling. The warrior's staff burrowed into the soft riverbank mud. Snatching the staff from the warrior, Josh stood and knocked the warrior to the ground with his own weapon. Then, he swiftly plunged his hand into the light burden and withdrew a pump-action shotgun. Hold it right there, Josh said, firing a shotgun blast into the ground next to the warrior. The blast not only froze the warrior in place, it stopped the other member of his attack party who were coming closer, advancing from the thicket of trees. Do you want to explain why you jumped on us? You trespassed on Signa land and brought the wrath of the hunters with your wake, said the warrior, straining to lift himself up on his elbows. As he rose slightly, Josh pulled him back into the mud. I'd feel a lot more comfortable if you stayed here, Josh said forcibly. You guys okay? He shouted over his shoulder to his fallen friend. We're fine, Josh, said Barry, standing as he and Adon slipped out of the shredded net. Good, replied Josh. Now, I have a few more questions for... The light burden, shouted one of the warrior's companions, pointing at the satchel hanging from Josh's side. He carries the light burden. Turok, said the warrior on the ground, bounding up and past Josh faster than the eye could follow. Once standing, the man dropped to one knee and covered his face with his hands. Forgive us, Turok. We did not recognize you. We had heard word of the passing of the secondary. You knew my Uncle Carl? Josh said, while taking the warrior by the arm and helping him back to his feet. The secondary fought as all Turoks have since the beginning, to preserve freedom among the Sekna and all people of the Lost Land. I am Kari. My men and I are of the Sekna, named for the first Turok, your ancestor. My ancestor? Asked Josh. Paul Sekna Sakin, Joshua, said Adon, stepping next to Josh. He discovered the Lost Land in 2100 BC. He opened the portal between it and Earth, and that is why your family bears the burden of being Turok. Speaker, said the warrior as he got his first look at Adon, dropping to one knee again. The Council of Voices hears our prayers and answers them with your presence. Rise, Kari of Segna, said Adon. The Turok before you seeks his sister, stolen by a raiding party of hunters. Have you seen them? Josh watched as Kari tried not to meet his gaze. It was as if he were both afraid of him and drawn to him at the same time. We saw a party moving towards the camp of the Dinosaurs, but we did not see if they carried any prisoners. My men and I discovered a slain group of animals nearby. If the hunters have fed recently, there is a good chance the sister of the Turok is still alive. Will the secondary be joining us? Joining us? Said Josh, looking from Adon to the warrior, still trying to grasp the idea that this warrior tribe was named for his ancestor for almost 4,000 years ago. Carl, the secondary, is dead. You do know that, don't you? You just said you knew he was dead. Kari tilted his head and looked at Josh, a confused expression on his face. Death means little to the Turoks. Surely you know this if you carry the light burden. What the Turok means, Kari, is that the secondary still battles dangers elsewhere in the time before death, said Adon, covering for Josh's mistake. Show us the way to the dinosaur camp and we will make effort to drive them from your land. As the warriors retrieved their nets and weapons, they led Barry, Josh, and Adon through the woods. Josh and Adon hung back. What did he mean, Josh whispered, about Carl joining us here? The bond of the Turok runs through the light burden, Turok, whispered Adon. As you commune with the other Turoks in the gathering place by entering the light burden, so can they come to you in this world when needed. You mean Carl's not dead? Asked Josh, most confused than ever about the whole Turok legacy and this place in it. He is dead, Turok, replied Adon. Remember, death and life means different things here, and different things when it comes to the light burden. It is a gateway, as are the fall gate openings, to different places, time past, and times to come. All times exist within it. Carl Ree turned and looked at Josh and smiled. Josh smiled back, unsure of what he should do as the Turok. Wave, salute, or give a thumbs up. As they walked on, Josh looked at the double triangle hourglass of the light burden and wondered if he could ever feel comfortable with the mantle of Turok. Sounds like a Cena reference. It probably is. My throat. I hate it when I'm not getting sick, am I? No, there's no way I'm getting sick. Although it wouldn't surprise me if I were to get sick. Allison Fireseed sat in a cage of thatched bamboo and caked mud. She took very little comfort in knowing that the fruit she had been reaching for when the hunters dragged her out of the hovercraft was indeed edible. Huge piles of the ripe, juicy fruit sat all around the cage within easy reach. Her appetite had faded, though, in the wake of seeing the piles of human bones stacked like firewood all around the hunter's camp. Why bother fattening herself up for them? "Why don't you eat, fleshling?" said the hunter closest to the cage. "Why don't you eat dirt and die, lizardling?" said Allison, turning her back. "What spark for a fleshling?" cackled the hunter. "You amaze me, little girl. Most fleshlings are silent in our presence." "Yeah, well, I'm not from around here, okay?" replied Allison, trying to sound as tough and defiant as she could. She would not go down without a fight. "And where I'm from, lizards like you live in the glass tank in pet stores. As long as he's talking, he's not eating me," she thought. "You do have spirit," said the creature, "or perhaps you just don't know how much trouble you're really in." Allison thought about telling him how much trouble he was in, that her brother was Turok, that when he found her, this guy would smash into a million little lizard pieces, but after the incident in the campaigners' arena, she thought better of it. She then noticed a scouting party of creatures like the one talking to her returning to the camp. The one interrogating her went to talk to them. "What do you report?" he asked of the other hunters. "The camp was defenseless. We left a message that the other villagers would soon not forget, and got the location of the energy totem from their lawgiver before we slit her throat. Her blood was hot and tasty." "Excellent," replied the lead hunter. "Primogen will be pleased. Break camp and bring the girl. She should make quite a tasty celebration dinner when we deliver the totem to the Primogen." The hunters laughed throatly, foam-filled laughs that filled Allison with disgust. Then the fear returned. "Josh, please hurry, wherever you are." Thick, oily smoke choked the air as Josh and his party arrived at the Segna warriors' village. As they passed through the gates, they saw blood stains on the barrier walls painted in a strange pattern that looked like a language, but it was no writing Josh had ever seen before. "We're too late," said Curry and his men as his men fanned out to check out for survivors. "The hunters have been here. "What does the writing say?" asked Barry. "It says Turok," said the warrior, stepping over to speak with his men. Josh looked around at the charred huts and smashed homes and at the bloodstains of the camp's gate. "These people are not fighters," he thought. "They just got in the way of Primogen, and he just wants me to get out of the way so he can get his hands on the precious totems. All this dead, for no reason." "This is all getting way too creepy, Josh," said Barry. "I'm beginning to think I should have stayed in the safe lands. Right about now, I'd be sipping a cool lemonade, playing Space Killers, probably version 1,000,000 being fanned by." Josh cut Barry's fantasy short. "Of course, being the loyal best friend of the great powerful Turok, protector of my bot, it's lots more fun," Barry concluded. "Thanks," replied Josh, "but I know what you mean about the creepy part. Hang in there, bot. Maybe this will make you feel better, just in case things get even hairier." Josh reached into the light burden and pulled out a plasma cannon, an armlet rifle-shaped weapon with a muzzle the size of a soccer ball. "Whoa, Rambo, what exactly do I do with this little puppy?" asked Barry, both excited by and terrified of the huge weapon. "And where's the joystick?" "Well, you know how to point and click, right?" asked Josh. "In this case, if someone nasty comes near you, just point and shoot." "I don't know, Josh," said Barry. "I'm a pacifist. I oppose all violence, especially violence done to me. In fact, I'm more than a pacifist. I'm a downright coward. First class. I know what'll happen. I'll shoot this thing, my glasses will break, I won't be able to see. It's a whole thing." "Look, Barry, I don't like shooting and maybe killing any more than you do," began Josh. "But look around. We may not have a choice. Back when the campaigner caught you and Allie, I felt like, well, look, just carry it. You probably won't need it, but it'll make me feel better." "Turok," said Curry, breaking up Josh's talk with Barry. Barry hefted the weapon in his hand and shrugged at its violent weight. Is it still here? Asked Josh. The Sekna did not build our village around the energy totem, though we did use the cleansed waters from the river. We fear something like this might happen. The only people who know where the totem is kept are where the totem is kept are myself and the village lawgiver, and she is now dead. I fear the hunters may already be on their way there. How close is the totem? Asked Adon. Not far, less than a mile, said Carrie, sprinting out of the gate. Come, you must take it for safe. You must take it for safekeeping. You want me to do what? Asked Allison, absolutely outraged. Dive into the waters and retrieve the energy totem, the hunter said, pointing at the dead fish and the brine-covered stench of river before them. The River of Souls was dammed at this point, making the already stagnant water even more rank and foul. Why would I want to help you, creeps? She said, backing away from the edge of the water, fighting the gag reflex to keep from throwing up. Her backward motion was halted by the hunter drone standing behind her. Retrieve it and we'll let you live, said the thuggish lead hunter. Please, said Addison. Do I really look that stupid? You were talking about eating me back at the camp. That old line may work on your local fleshlings, but I'm from Oklahoma. We know what's what. I said that before I knew where the totem was, snapped the lead hunter angrily. Stop arguing, fleshling. Dive or we'll gut you here and now. Then who's gonna get your energy totem? Said Allison defiantly. The hunter hissed furiously. You are most definitely not like the other fleshlings we have encountered. Why are you so bold when you know we can rip your throat out any second? Hey, I grew up in 90s America, said Allison proudly. You are like totally the least scary thing I've seen this week. I don't know what this 90s America is, child, but it matters not, shouted the hunter. Get in the water or die. The choice is yours. Allison could see that stalling wasn't going to help any longer. If I don't swallow any of the water, I'll be okay, she thought as she stepped into the lagoon. The smell of rotting fish was too strong. Once she was up in her knees, she wrenched through her mouth and nose. The hunters laughed. Ha 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 ha. Ha ha, Liz boys, I'm glad you find this so hilarious, she mumbled, wiping the mess from her mouth. What are you, like, third grader? Silence, the leader shouted at both her and his men. Dive, damaging weights, without another word. Without another word, Allison sank beneath the surface of the water. Josh, Barry, Adon, and Raquel men arrive at the lagoon to find the hunters gathered around the edge of the water, leaning forward, looking in. Holding a finger to his lip, Carrie motioned to his men to circle around the left while Barry, Josh, Adon, and he would come to the right. They started moving forward when the lead hunter ears perked up, having heard the sound of her motions. Human intruders, he called out. The element of surprise was lost. Josh and the others rushed into battle. The hunters were larger than the humans, but they had less sophisticated weapons. Even with such primitive implements such as Carrie battle staff, the humans were able to dispatch them with ease. Two hunters attacked Josh, who found that a shotgun blast to the kneecaps of a hunter had the same effect as a blast to the kneecaps of just about any other creature. Kneeling over the falling hunter, Josh asked where his sister was. She serves Primogen by retrieving the totem, said the hunter, as Josh leaned heavily under the creature's shattered legs. Racing over to the lagoon, Josh saw that Allison was bobbing face down in the murky, sewage-like water. Racing to the edge of the river, Josh was about to step into the water when Carrie grabbed him by the arm. No, Turok, no one can enter the waters of the River of Souls and live. But my sister is out there, Josh said, straining against the warrior. Then it's too late for her, replied Carrie sadly. I am truly sorry. I got to save her, shouted Josh, pulling free. Suddenly, Allison's head moved, then her hand emerged from the water. In her arms, she managed to clutch the energy totem. Josh? She sputtered, coughing up water. Ali! He cried, reaching out to her. Allison's eyes rolled back in her head, and she slipped forward, falling back down into the water. No! Josh shouted. There must be something in there that can help me, he said, reaching into the light burden. He came out empty-handed. Calmer, he thought. Calm down and focus. Reaching in again, Josh withdrew a necklace, the end of which seemed to be connected to a sphere containing air. The breath of life, said Aaron, genuinely shocked. What is it? Josh asked. It is one of the 5 most sacred talismans of the Sequin tribe, answered Adon. With it, you can restore the breath of life to the dead and, legend states, cross the river of souls. Legend? Replied Josh. So no one has actually seen it work? Adon shook her head. Doesn't matter, said Josh. I'll have to try. Placing the necklace around his neck, Josh took a deep breath and stepped into the foul and deadly river of souls. Wading forward, Josh let out a breath. The necklace seemed to come to life. The charm and bubbles braided into the rope began twirling and spinning. A gust of wind moved through the trees and across the water, creating a solid path between Josh and his sister. In its wake, the water turned a clear blue. Walking along the path that was indicated by the breeze, Josh rushed out to his sister and pulled her up. Josh turned her over and patted her face. Ali, come on, wake up, we're here, I'm here. He got no reaction. He leaned in and listened to her chest. No heartbeat. Is she? Asked Barry as Josh came back, facing Adon's limp body onto the shore. Turok, your sister may yet have the spark of life within her, said Adon. Use the breath of life. Breath of life, Josh repeated, panic racing through his entire being. She can't be dead, he thought. I can't be responsible for her death when I talk so big about not killing others. Pinching her nose, Josh leaned in and started performing CPR. He inhaled the breath of life, then puffed the purifying air into his sister's mouth. With each breath, a new breeze moved on the river of souls, clearing the pollutants and purifying the water. Allison coughed after a moment, spitting off thick, oily water. You came after me? Well, I thought you'd make a pretty good appetizer for the hunters, but I was worried that might choke you with your tongue. Stud. Joked Josh, tears of relief forming in the corner of his eyes. He hugged Allison tightly. There was a special bond between the two siblings, who grew up without a mother or father. Being raised by an older sister had only brought all the siblings together closer. Besides, what kind of brother would I be if I came home and told Vivian and the rest of the family that I lost you in a cursed river? Josh joked again. Allison threw her arms around him and held him just as tight. Meanwhile, Adon completely ignored the scene while she inspected the energy totem. It appears to still be functioning, she reported to no one in particular. The waters in this part of the river should still be purified by the totem's energy. Apparently, there is something new fouling the waters. As Allison hugged her brother, the hunter with the shattered leg saw that she still had the totem by her side, driving himself forward toward her. He almost got within reaching distance before Barry stepped in front of him. Looking up, the hunter saw what was staring into the mouth of a very large plasma cannon. And where do you think you're going? Barry asked. Lizard Day of the Lost Land is Thursday. Today is... Well, it's not Thursdays, okay, so back off. Josh walked back to the fallen hunter. He grabbed him by the shoulder. leaning closer and did his best Clint Eastwood impression. This is my friend's first day with that cannon, so if I were you, I'd be careful that you don't upset him, or he may accidentally blow your head off. While Addison and Barry whistled and clapped at the poor imitation, Josh's basic message was not lost onto the hunter. So tell me, are you hunters getting your orders directly from Pramagen, or is there someone else working with you to get a totem? Pramagen? Stuttered the hunter. Who is Pramagen? Now see, Josh began, twisting the hunter's body so that his head sat directly in the sides of Barry's cannon. That is the kind of stuff that gets lion dinosaurs' heads blown off. I know you want to help me, and I also know from speaking with Kari that hunters don't generally work alone, so I'll ask again, who are you working with? The hunter's eyes started from the mouth of Barry's cannon. The Purling! We work with the Purling! See, now that wasn't so hard, said Josh, dropping the hunter on his face, making sure that a good amount of the creature's weight landed on his bad knee. A few moments later, the Signa warriors dragged the hunter away from the lake as Josh spoke with Adon. You have already met the Purling in your travels, and in the campaigners arena, said Adon. You know that they are dangerous warrior castes that kill for sport and pleasure. What in the Lost Land doesn't? Asked Josh. You may not know that their breeding grounds are in the heart of the dead marshes at the mouth of the River of Souls, explained Adon. I suspect that the pestilence that continues to foul the river despite the presence of the totem stems from that place. The Arisian mountains lie just beyond them. The Council of Voices has heard reports that Pramagen has discovered another energy totem deep in the marshes that had been hidden by a mystical cloud, and has persuaded the Purling to retrieve it for him in return for a ground of power over the Lost Land once he leaves. Don't they know that if he powers up that ship of his, the Lost Land will be ripped apart? Asked Josh. Apparently they believe that to be a lie created by their enemies, replied Adon. The engines of Adon's hovercraft hummed in the air as Barry, Allison, and Carrie piloted the craft to the edge of the clearing. Well, the hovercraft is none the worse for wear, Barry said as Josh and Adon loaded the energy totem onto the ship. I was able to reconnect the wiring that popped loose when we knocked ourselves over the riverbank. Where to now? Back to the Council of Voices? No, said Josh. There are still 3 totems out there that the Pramagen has not gotten, and the few survivors of the Segnat village have been taken by the Purling downstream. Kari has to stay to see the burial of the dead. We have to press down the river to the dead marshes. Dead marshes or river of... Is anything around here called the Enchanted Forest or the Delightful Meadow or something like that? Said Barry. If there were, said Josh, we Turoks would be out of business. Then the hovercraft glided off towards the dead marshes. Chapter 6. Hang on, you know what? I'm gonna go real quick to the bathroom before I start this next chapter. So I'll be back in... Give me 3 minutes. Wait, I'm gonna pause this and I'll be back.
Stay cool, baby. Bring it on, sucker. This my kind of shit. Bring it on, sucker. This my kind of shit. Bring it on, sucker. This my kind of shit. Bring it on, sucker. This my kind of shit. Just a little time out. Scratch. Damn! Stand up. Fall down. Stand up. Yeah, that's right. Fall down. To the left. You're doing good, baby. To the right. To the left. To the right. Stand up. Hell yeah. Fall down. Stand up. All right. Fall down. To the left. To the right. To the left. Yeah, that's right. To the right. What's up, ladies? Gonna freak you on. Stay cool, baby. Man, that was nasty. Bring it on, sucker. This my kind of shit. Bring it on, sucker. This my kind of shit. Bring it on, sucker. This my kind of shit. Bring it on, sucker. This my kind of shit. I'm in the zone, baby. Oh yeah, I got enough for all of y'all. Ain't enough freaks to stop this man. Here comes some more. Boom. I'm in the zone, baby. Boom. Oh yeah, I got enough for all of y'all. Boom. Ain't enough freaks to stop this man. Boom. I can do that all night long. Stand up. Fall down. Stand up. Yeah, that's right. Fall down. To the left. You're doing good, baby. To the right. To the left. To the right. Stand up. Hell yeah. Fall down. Stand up. All right. Fall down. To the left. To the right. To the left. Yeah, that's right. To the right. Gonna freak you on. Stay cool, baby. Oh yeah, I'm back in the game. Bring it on, sucker. This my kind of shit. Bring it on, sucker. This my kind of shit. Bring it on, sucker. This my kind of shit. Bring it on, sucker. This my kind of shit. Bring it on, bring it on, bring it on, bring it on, sucker. Bring it on, bring it on, bring it on, bring it on, sucker. Bring it on, bring it on, bring it on, bring it on, sucker. Bring it, 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 bring it. This my kind of shit.
Hello, I am back. Oh shit. Oh crap, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap. Where is the thing? Where's the music at? There we go. Oh, I still have a half an hour for this for this. Let's see if I let me set it to loop. I don't want in case I accidentally like run out of music. Also, hello, this shit. Thank you for the super chat, Badger. Appreciate it. Very epic, very epic, very epic indeed. All right, so chapter 6. Wait a minute before I continue. So chapter 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. I love that. I love that. I love that. I've always loved that that little redeem that I made. Okay, so chapter 6. The hovercraft followed the River of Souls upstream. The ship traveled close to the water, floating only inches from its surface to avoid being seen over the tall reeds of each bank. Josh stared out into the reeds, his mind racing. He didn't want to admit to the others, but he was really starting to get worried. Up until a week ago, all the word Turok meant to him was the name of a fictional character from Saquin legend. Now, not only was it real, it was him, and here was the name, as some kind of sick graffiti, scrawled in blood on the wall of a village filled with dead people. People that died because of him, because some demented creature called Pramagen wanted the Turok dead. A cold breeze blew off the fog-draped waters, and Josh shuddered. I'm going to have to have a talk with the rest of the family after all this is over, he thought, and see how the other Turoks dealt with being the cause of all this death. While Josh was lost in thought, trying to clear his head by searching the shoreline along the marshes for any sign of life, Adon noticed that Allison had not spoken to her brother since he saved her by the hunter's camp. Why do you avoid your brother, Allison? She finally asked. Why do I say to him? She answered after a moment. She brought me back from the dead. Don't you find that a little odd? He is Turok. Life and death are his influence. For him, for all of us, replied Adon. He walked on water for crying out loud, stated Allison. That might be easy for you to accept, Adon, but a half hour ago, I was dead. Totally rigored. White lights, angels waiting in line to pass through the pearly gates, the everlasting shopping mall in the sky. Then my brother comes along and with a magic necklace brings me back to life. Legends have always said that being a Turok was an important thing for the boys in our family, but this? Adon nodded. I understand your meaning, Allison. While I am the speaker of Forever Light, the passing of the mantle from my mother to me was a choice that I knew would change my entire life. I waited more than 500 years to begin this phase of my life. And in that time, I watched my mother and the Turoks of time past and times yet to be defend the lost land against many threats. I wondered if I could ever be worthy of being speaker, if I could ever serve the Turok of my time as my mother had served the others. It must have made you feel small, right? Unimportant? Allison asked, rising and crossing to stand next to Adon at the hovercraft's controls. For a time, replied the speaker. Then I realized that just because I could never be my mother, that didn't mean I could not contribute to the protection of the lost land. You need not look on your brother as better or greater than you. He is just different. You will bring honor to the Pharisee name yet, in your own time, in your own way. Thanks, Allison said, craning her neck to follow the sound of a cricket as it rose and faded into the night. Thanks for listening. For a 500-year-old hologram, you're okay by me. You too are okay by me, Allison Fire said. Aiden said, smiling. The two women laughed. A massive splash in the river shook the hovercraft. Something jumped right into the water, causing all on deck to run over to see what was going on in the water with them. I am getting really tired of running into these Tales from the Crypt rejects, said Barry, lowering his plasma cannon to his side. Whatever was in the water had gone. Are you sure we can trust what the hunter told us, Josh? He knows what will happen to him if Turok becomes displeased, Josh said with more than a hint of sarcasm in his voice. He placed the tech bow that he had instinctively pulled from the light burden back into the satchel. Based on what the hunter told us, the Perlin camp should be right around this bend. As they rounded the curve in the River of Soul, Josh and his friends were hit by a powering stench of rotting, decaying flesh. Dotting the edge of the marsh were a series of huts and structures made of heavy stone. While none were elegantly pulled together, it was clear that beneath the apparel haphazard construction was a civilized mind at work. Several multi-level structures reached into the murky fog-shrouded sky, and a series of bridges linked the upper levels, enabling the Perlin to move about from structure to structure without ever setting foot on the ground. This was a good thing, as Josh and the others had to use all their willpower to keep from getting sick over the rank odor rising from the stagnant pools of slimy water. "Hey! If you feel the urge," said Allison, leaning over the railing, "just spew. You'll feel better. Trust me." "No. Thanks," said Barry, quickly covering his nose. "We should pull ashore here," Aiden said, pointing to the riverbank. "Suits me fine," said Barry, through his fingers, which were clamped firmly over his mouth. Aiden brought the hovercraft to a halt on the marshy bank. They jumped out of it and were immediately greeted by a squad of 20 Perlin war clubs. The Perlin were known not for being the most leadership-oriented warriors, so as Josh sized up his opponents, he felt fairly comfortable they would not charge under their leader. The Perlin headsman made himself known and gave the word. Turok's eyes darted around the village as he slowly withdrew two massive knives from the light burden. Through the windows of the building, he could see the inhabitants of this village, prisoners from the Signa tribe, and an older human man, all being held captive by the Perlin war clubs. Out of the crowd stepped a Perlin with a crest of red fur across the top of his head and down the middle of his back. The Perlin clutched a human girl, no older than 9 or 10, in his left hand. "Only a coward hides behind a little girl," said Josh. The headsman laughed. "Who's hiding, Turok? I would only hide if there was a threat, and there is, and I see none." "Maybe you should look a little closer," Josh said. The little girl dropped to the ground and sat unmoving on the mud, stunned that she was free but confused that it was still hard to breathe. Reaching up, she felt the headsman's hand still clutch around her throat, though there was no arm connected to the wrist. "Ah!" cried the huntsman as he dropped to his knee, blood gushing from the severed stub at the end of his arm. Josh had sprung into a battle crouch, his twin blades glistening with Perlin blood. Faster than the eye could follow, he had swung both and up and down across the headsman's arm, chopping through his bone and gristle with furious speed. Though barely clenched teeth, the headsman was able to utter one intelligible word: "Attack!" The war clubs swarmed forward. Josh pulled a machine gun from the light burden and began firing. When he didn't have time to reload, he just threw the gun overhand with the faces into the faces of the onrushing creatures. The empty gun didn't hurt the beasts, but distracted them long enough for Josh to ram a blade deep into the chest. One of the war clubs launched himself on top of a hut and was about to land on Josh's back when a loud chomp blast split the air. Whirling around, Josh saw that Barry had joined the fray, firing the plasma cannon. Josh also saw Allison held the little girl and some of her friends away from the center of the battle. Now he was free to fight them at the battle at hand. Seeing their opportunity to escape during the confusion of battle, the Sekna prisoners and the old man slipped from the hut where they had been held captive. This departure did not go unseen by the Portland headsman, who followed the escaped prisoners, still trailing blood from the end of his left wrist. Allison saw this out of the corner of her eye. Running over, she slammed herself hard into the headsman's back, shoving him into the ground. Allison feared whatever the headman would do when he got up, but she was shocked to see that instead of getting up, he went down deeper. "What's going on?" "What's going on?" the Perlin asked, thrashing about. With each movement, the headsman sank deeper. "A quicksand patch," said the old man, who, along with the others escapees, had managed to remain on the side of the churning pit. "This area is filled with it." Allison watched as the quicksand pulled the headsman under. "You can't let me sink into this," the headsman cried, his fur getting mated with the clumpy oatmeal-like goo. "You think my people are monsters, but if you let me die down here, then who's the monster? Save me, and you will have my word that I will not harm you." Allison looked at the creature, who not a minute ago would have killed her and everyone in the village as he pleased for his life. She thought about leaving him into the quicksand to die, but realized that he was right. If she did, she would be no better than him. Breaking off a long route, Allison extended to the headsman, grasping with his one good arm. The creature held on as Allison dragged him back to solid land. Coughing up bits of dirt and muck, the creature stood. "You are a fool," he said. "I would not have done the same for you. I guess that makes one of us a decent human being, and the other," Allison paused, "well, whatever you are." Compassion for one's enemies," said the old man. "That is the sign of a true hero. Perhaps I have judged the Fireseed family too harshly." "Who are you?" Allison asked, turned to face the elder. "And how do you know my name?" In the split second that she averted her eyes, the Perlin headsman lunged for her. "Allison, down!" Josh shouted from across the clearing as he fired an energy-charged tech arrow at the headsman. Hearing her brother and reacting instinctively, Allison dropped to the ground. The arrow plunged into the headsman's chest, blue electric flame leaking around his body. As he fell, Allison again expected to see the deceitful creature bound back to his feet and come charging at her. He did not. Instead, he vanished, falling into a fall gate opening. "Treachery," said the elder as the fall gate snapped shut. "That's exactly what I expected from a Perlin headsman." Josh and Allison were shocked. The Turok lowered his tech bow and stared at the elder before him. With their leader apparently having been swallowed into thin air, the superstitious war clubs stopped fighting. The Sekna prisoners were free. "Did you do that?" Josh asked the elder. "I thought I was the only one who could open fall gates." "Come, Turok, we must talk," said the elder, placing his hand on Josh's shoulder. Josh and the other followed the old man to the hovercraft. "I am sick," began the old man. He, Josh, Barry, and Adon were Once he, Josh, Allison, Barry, and Adon were settled on board of the hovercraft. "I am the elder in a nearby village. I was captured by the Perlin because I have something Pramagen wants as badly as he wants the totems. That's why we came to the Dead Marshes," said Josh, "to find the hidden totem." I assume that this is what would bring the Turok here, explained Zek. I do not know of its location. What could Pramagen want as much as the totems? Asked Adon, surprised that there were others who knew more about the evil creature than as she or the council. This, said Zek, grasping the sides of his wooden leg. Giving it a twist to the left, the leg unscrewed along a thread near his knee. Josh gasped in wonder as the elder opened the hollow leg, spilling out a glistening opaque black gemstone roughly the size of his fist. The one place the Perlin didn't look, said the elder, holding the gemstone in the center of the cycle. The crystalline facets retracted the light, mixing visions of places and time from across reality with the shadows on the wall. Fall gates can be opened with only 2 keys, explained Zek. The folding eye, said Josh. The elder nodded. And this gemstone. They are hewn from the same crystal. Your folding eye allows you to see the gates and enter them at will. The crystal can do the same, but it also allows the wielder to clearly see and control the many places a gate can open up onto. So where did you send these headsman? Asked Barry. I'm assuming it's not some luxury hotel at the Galliana Hilton. Let's say you won't be seeing him again anytime soon, said Zek with a slight smile. He then grew serious and returned to the subject at hand. The secret to the fall of the Fall Gate openings is almost more important to Pramagen than gathering the totems, continued the elder. Using only this gemstone as a compass, Pramagen believes he can accurately guide his lightship back home. He may need to capture the energy totems in order to power his ship, but he would have no way to control it, steer it if you will, back to his own universe without this. Why have you kept this information from the council? Asked Adon. Because over the years I have seen the council make mistakes, more than at times some that at times rival Pramagen's evil, said the elder. His word hit Adon like a slap in the face. They have locked themselves away for so long, they no longer listen to the voices of the people, and their followers tend to suffer for a lack of ability to act and think for themselves. Then, turning to Josh, he added, I have never been a fan of Turoks either. The blind aggression of some Turoks I have seen is most distasteful. But this girl, he reached out to Allison, who showed compassion when a colder heart would have led that monster to die in the quicksand, showed me that perhaps there is more to the fireside line that I was willing to ground. You mean I did something right? Allison couldn't help but ask in surprise. Of course you did, Allie, said Josh. Why are you so surprised? No reason, Allison answered shyly, sneaking a look at Adon. The elder handed Josh the gemstone. Your family has my respect and trust, John Turok. Use the gemstone wisely, but bear in mind that the ages have drained its energies, and the viewing of the many exits from within the Netherscape to the other side of the Fall Gates may be hazardous. The Netherscape? Josh asked. The Netherscape is the area between the Fall Gate openings, explained Zek. It connects all points, all places, and on all times. Josh nodded as the hovercraft headed for Zek's village. After returning the elder safely to his home, Josh gathered everyone on board before him. I've been thinking, Josh began, and I've come to a decision. If this gemstone can give us control over the exit points to the Fall Gates, then there is one place that I wanna go. Back to Earth. and I'm gonna end it there. I'm gonna end it on a cliffhanger. After this, it's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more chapters. So yeah, I'm gonna end it there. I'm feeling a little bit lightheaded. I don't know why. I think it's because I'm not used to talking this much. Even if I'm drinking water, I still feel a little bit that lightheaded. I don't know. I just want to lay. I don't know. I feel like I don't feel like I want to throw up, but I do feel like a little bit nauseated. I do have some Tylenol or something. I'll probably take some of that. Oh yeah. So thank you for dropping by tonight to stream. Tomorrow. Oh yeah. By the way, tomorrow. Wait. Do I have the thing? No, I don't have the thing. Oh, here we go. Oh, although I'll have to. Okay, I'm gonna switch to the screen real quick. Browser. Here we go. Yes. Tomorrow. Turok, Son of Stone, movie watch along. However, I'm gonna start at a regular time, 7 p.m. Eastern, but I'll be doing something else for like an hour roughly, to like get people to like gather, and then I'll start the movie at around 8 p.m. So it's gonna be on Twitch and it's gonna be on YouTube, and hopefully I won't be copyright struck. I do hope I won't be copyright struck, but but you never know. If I do get like a notification, I'll probably like what I'll do is I'll just delete the bot, or maybe like unlist it or something. So yes, tomorrow, movie watch along. Also, that is a really bad thumbnail. I couldn't like figure out what to put in the background. So maybe I'll update it later. Like I wanted to get like a big picture of the original cover, but I couldn't find one. The biggest one that I could find was like maybe 180 by 360. That's really small for YouTube thumbnails. Even if I were to stretch it, it would look like really bad. So I just went with that. I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? And that's what I did. Can you just scan covers of the books? I could, but I don't have a scanner. I used to have a scanner. But I don't have it anymore. And that was ages ago, actually. I don't even remember when I first when I got rid of it. So yeah, tomorrow movie time. Yeah, tomorrow I'm gonna be doing movie time as well. You know what? I'm gonna do like a little bit of level making tomorrow, since that's pretty much what I usually do. I don't really have anything else to do. I wanted to like play a video game, but then I figured, nah, that's not gonna be good. But yeah, thank you for dropping by tonight to stream. Let's see, who are we gonna raid on Twitch? That is. Oh, let's see. Let's go with wait. No, I raided him recently. I also rated free recently. Oh god, who do I rate? Let's see, raid. Wait, let me reload. Maybe someone else has like started recently or something. And no, nobody has. Wow. I'll guess we'll go with Haru. Yeah, we're gonna go with him. Really cute, really cool person. Haru Misuki CH. I hope I got the name right. Yes, I got the name right. Yeah, we're gonna go raid Haru. He's playing the recompilation project. He's been streaming for a long time. I don't know how. I think he's been at it for like 48 hours so far. Holy shit! I don't think I'd be able to survive 12. I can't survive 12 hours. We will just float in nothingness forever. No, it's all right. But yeah, thank you for dropping by tonight to stream, and I'll see you tomorrow. Have long days and pleasant nights, and I'll see you tomorrow.